from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
This bill is an important racial justice measure. It's the product of years of work by so many activists and advocates and young people, and it's long overdue.
The House of Representatives made history today, passing a bill to decriminalize cannabis and end the federal ban on marijuana. The MORE Act is a major sign that many Americans are changing their stance on pot, though it's not likely to become law anytime soon. But a local prosecutor who has taken a similar stance explained to WRTV's Cornelius Hawker what today's House vote in Washington could mean for Indiana's criminal justice system.
And it's just nice and refreshing to see Congress act in a way that's simple and sensible, that reflects how most people feel.
That's Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears on the historic passage of the MORE Act in the House of Representatives. According to the ACLU, which analyzed arrest data from across the country, black people are arrested 3.6 times the rate of white people for marijuana possession. It's a trend that troubles Prosecutor Mears.
We're going to make sure that when our laws are applied, they apply to everyone fairly and equally. And if that's not happening, we're going to act, which is why I was comfortable making that decision to no longer prosecute marijuana cases.
When Mears made that decision in September of last year, there was immediate pushback from law enforcement in Marion County. IMPD, along with Lawrence and Speedway police departments, making a point to say they were going to continue making arrests for marijuana. But Mears tells me if the federal government made marijuana legal,
it would send a clear message to everybody in law enforcement that this no longer needs to be a priority. There are better things that we can be doing with our time in law enforcement, and it's important that we prioritize violent crime.
Ryan Mears only affects one county, and that's Marion County, and he's done a very positive effect with this choice of his to be able to do that. But if that were spread more across the state, we would see more successes, I think.
William Henry is the chairman for Indiana NORML, the National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws. He's more hopeful than ever the federal government will end the federal ban on marijuana thanks to public support.
There's a lot of people who have personally been impacted by cannabis possession, or their family members have been impacted by that, or their whole families altogether.
The collateral consequences are just incredible. It impacts people's ability to get student loans. It impacts people's ability to get a job. It impacts where you can live if you have a prior felony conviction, even if it is for marijuana. There's a lot of places, apartments that won't rent to you.
With all those life-altering impacts, Prosecutor Mears tells me it's past time for the ban on marijuana to end, and he's doing his part to turn the tide.
It is imperative that we limit the contact that people have with the criminal justice system, especially when that contact's involving nonviolent offenders.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
The marijuana decriminalization bill passed in the Democrat-controlled House, mostly along party lines. Opponents say marijuana is a gateway drug and responsible for an increase in traffic deaths. The Senate, controlled by Republicans, is not likely to take it up in the last 2 weeks of the current congressional session.